Hello, thank you for being here. My question is, if you're a woman trying to pursue your sport, how are we supposed to, fight men trying to transition over and taking the records and scholarships from women?
Thank you for asking this question. So this is where it's been interesting, because I'm in a business where the Lord has blessed me, where I could say whatever I want, whatever I want to say it, and I've been doing that for a while. And then I kind of have this meeting of people that are so good, and they see something so wrong, and they're so afraid to say what they see as wrong. And this is like one of the most, this like number one issue, right? Where I get these beautiful emails from mothers who are just so agreeable, and they're just great people, right? And they're so intimidated by the alphabet mafia, right? The LGBTQ whatever, right? That they wouldn't dare say anything against it, right? And so, yeah, I say this, first let me just say this, everyone needs Jesus Christ. It's the most important thing, everyone, including the man who's competing in women's sports at University of Pennsylvania and destroying women's swimming. I want him to come back into communion with Christ. It's very important. Before this entire kind of trans movement, there used to be a psychological condition called gender dysphoria, where this would be diagnosed as. It's a very serious thing, where someone thinks they are a separate gender than what they are. There are treatment options, non-medical by the way, of getting to root causes. Maybe you were really poorly treated by your current gender when you were a kid. Maybe you have father issues and you're a boy. There's a lot of different things that could play into it. But therapy and treatment needs to be something that we talk about with that. Okay, but if we're not also simultaneously willing to say that men that compete in women's sports are nothing short of cheaters, then we are kidding ourselves. That women's sports should not be an open-air athletic therapy place for people that have serious mental problems, because you deserve better than that. We believe there are differences between men and women. I grew up in a country where feminists used to scream in my face about that, about how men and women are so different that we need special laws designed for women. Okay. I was against that then and against that now, but I understood the argument that at least there were biological differences between men and women. Now it's like, no, there's no difference. Men can give birth. You get fired from Google for saying that. It's true. You get fired. In most colleges, if you say that only women can give birth, you'll get kicked out of school. I'm not kidding. Most colleges. I could have a whole speech on how bad colleges are, right? But when parents hear that, like, what? It's true. The Biden administration, when they came out with their guidelines, what did they say? Birthing people. It's true. When they proposed income aid for people that have given birth, moms, they refused to put mothers in the official White House document. They said birthing people. It's bad. And it's bad because of something you might not expect. And this is where I can play a role, and I'm happy that you guys can all rest on my shoulders. My only advice is just speak out a little bit. We're way too agreeable as a country, everybody. This is nonsense, it's garbage, and we are afraid of losing friends or social status or whatever, and they are bulldozing decency and our girls' future in sports. It's just the way it is. And again, happy to bear the brunt of a lot. You're transphobic. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of afraid of women's sports being abolished. Like, thanks for mentioning that. I kind of am. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. And it's unfair to all of our female competitors that work so hard. And there's so many other issues of that. So your specific question is, what can you do? Not a lot without losing a lot. I'm going to be very honest with you. They will condemn you. They will ostracize you. They'll say you have no compassion. You have none of this stuff. This is a fight for your parents to start to pound the table, to be perfectly honest, right? I'm starting to see more and more parents do this. You guys are all doing a wonderful job. You wouldn't be here tonight on Friday night if you guys didn't get it. But we really have to start to see parents say this is not going to happen, right? There's no place at all whatsoever. We can have a heart for these people. We can get them into treatment, get them to therapy, but you're not going to abolish the competitive future. And just to fill in the gaps for everybody here, women's swimming is done. Women's swimming is no more. Every record that was once held in collegiate women's swimming has been broken by a man by 30 to 45 seconds. It's done. Over, gone. So if you're a woman that's a swimmer and you want to be in college, it's gone. It's done. You'll never compete at the equal footing ever again. And so this is the final point, is it really comes down to this question of justice, right? Those of you that are classically educated probably read a lot about justice, because that's in the human soul is a yearning for justice, right? How do we know that? Without ever having to tell them, a 2-year-old that has a toy taken away from them says that's not fair. It's true. They know in their soul that that toy should not just be taken away without an explanation. Within the upbringing of a child is a yearning for things to be fair. Just. Justice is a debt. That's the best way you can explain justice to a kid. Justice is a debt that is owed. Meaning you did something wrong, something must happen. This is massively unjust. It is. On every single level. So I don't mean to kind of do a detour on that, but this really is the regime of political correctness. It is. People that know something that's wrong, that do not want to say anything because of the penalty that might exist. The country will become a lot more free the moment that good people stop caring what they can lose for doing what's right. All right, thank you.